Hi, this is Michaela, and this is my channel, Be Enjoy. Thank you for being here with me today. I want to talk about this book, The Power of Now. I said that I was going to do a series on this book with every chapter, and I left out the introduction. So we're going to start with the introduction. Now, the introduction talks about Eckhart Tolle and how he got started. So, first of all, he's a spiritual teacher from England. And he struggled with his life. He struggled with depression and anxiety his whole life. Until one day when he, I guess, got fed up. So I'm going to read this passage. It says, "I cannot live with myself any longer." It's something that he said to himself. "This was the thought that kept repeating itself in my mind. Then suddenly I became aware of what a peculiar thought it was. Am I one or two? If I cannot live with myself, there must be two of me, the I and the self that I cannot live with. Maybe," I thought, "only one of them is real." So at that moment, he realized that the myself in that situation is an illusion. It was not real. So that's when he came into the realization of the real self, his real self. And so he talks about what goes on in the next few months and then the rest of his life and how the book got started. I want to go next to how the book is written. So the book is written in a question-answer format. So he has a question and then he answers the question in the text below. And then it goes on like that throughout the whole book. He asks a question, and then he answers the question. Now, those questions came from people that he taught. So it came from his students. And people would ask him questions, and so he collected all of those questions, and he put that into this book. He says that in the introduction as well. Now, he also talks about how he talks, or how he portrays his information, how he puts his information out there. He says that he does it on two levels. On one level, I draw your attention to what is false in you. I speak of the nature of human consciousness and dysfunction, as well as its most common behavioral manifestations, from conflict in relationships to welfare between tribes or nations. So he talks to you on that level. And then on another level, I speak of a profound transformation of human consciousness, not as a distant future possibility, but available now. No matter who or where you are shown how to free yourself from enslavement to the mind, enter into the enlightened state of consciousness, and sustain it in everyday life. So he talks to you on two different levels. And he talks to your conscious self. He doesn't talk to the imaginary, the ego. Now, he also writes in here about things that Jesus or Buddha has said. So he puts that in there, like things that they've said and how it got misinterpreted throughout so many interpretations. And that's something that I've always thought. I've always thought that how do we know that the Bible is actually saying what it's saying? It's been interpreted so many different times that you don't know that the words that is said in the Bible is actually what was actually written and in the context that it was written. So that's one question that I've always had. Like, how do we know that it's written in the way that it's supposed to be written? You know what I mean? He says this: "I cannot tell you any spiritual truth that deep within you don't already know." Okay, wait, I said that incorrectly. Let me reread that. "I cannot tell you any spiritual truth that deep within you don't know already. That deep within you don't know already." There we go. "All I can do is remind you of what you have forgotten. Living knowledge, ancient and yet ever new, is then activated and released from within every cell of your body." So he's saying that you already know this information. All this information we already just know. It's built into our DNA. It's in there. It's just information that we've lost throughout the years, being lost in our subconscious, being lost in our ego, letting our ego run the show, pretty much. So at the end, he says, if at times I speak forcefully, it is to cut through heavy layers of mental resistance. So he understands that there has been built up layers upon layers, and he knows that he has to get through those layers to really get you to understand and feel the things that he's saying. That's pretty much the introduction. I would suggest you read it and you get your own interpretation from it. The next video is going to be about chapter 1, and I'm going to go over that and study that a little bit. And I really would love, for whoever watched these videos, I would love for you to read this book as well, and let me know what you think about it. What is your take on this book? What is your take on the chapter that we're having? So we can have like a book club, I guess you could say. My friend actually suggested, she was like, so why don't we all get the book and we can all read it and it can be a book club? I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. We can all have a book club. So get you a book. I'll put in the description below where you can find the book. You can find it on Amazon, or you can just Kindle it and read it online. Really read it on your phone if you don't want to buy the book. But definitely, please read it so we can go over it together. And if you've already read it, please let me know what your take is on it. Comment below. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell for the next video. And always, as always, be in joy. Bye.